Hello. Welcome to Corinne's Picks. I'm Daniel Lanzilotta, your host. And tonight's guests, we have two lovely guests who braved the weather to come out to the Bronx. Joan Daidone and Anthony Newton, our guest artist. Welcome and thank you for being here. Let's start. How did you guys meet?
So we met on the streets of 23rd Street in Manhattan, and I think it's between 6th and 7th Avenue. I was showing my work outside as an exhibit, outside of the exhibition at the gallery I belong to, Fountain House Gallery. And I don't want to work 9 to 5, so that was my 9 to 5 at the time.
Right, okay, you're an artist.
I'm an artist, so that was how I was paying my bills outside of, not having a 9 to 5.
And you took to the work.
Work stopped me literally in my tracks.
Right, it's very powerful work.
Going across 23rd, I passed the Chelsea Hotel and whatever, and I say, and there's his work, out on the street, and I started, talking to him about it and, asking him.
That's what, 3.5 years ago, you said?
Yeah, 3.5 years ago.
And you've started this relationship. So let's just look at the work and see how powerful the work is. And you're also working on a book. So is this work in the book, or it's all new work in the book?
The work will be in the book, and it's for an exhibition called I Rap with a Paintbrush. And I like to use the word study when I talk about my work. So it's about black composers from, I guess, like the Harlem Renaissance?
No, before classical, classical through hip-hop. Yeah.
Through hip-hop. So it's an interesting genre of artists, musicians,
right,
that I get to educate myself on, and then, illustrate with my art.
So illustrations,
oils,
paintings,
canvases,
writing, music. It sounds like an incredible collaboration. So let's look at Anthony's work. What do we have here?
So we have Duke Ellington, or at least my expression of Duke Ellington, from what I can learn about him, and paint what I feel about him. I mean, it's done in oils. It's on pre-stretched canvas, 18 by 24. And I wanted to sort of make what is really original about my work is that it stares at the viewer as the viewer stares at the painting.
Eye contact.
Yes, no other artist does that. So it's in a very original statement.
So you get sucked into the eyes.
Yes, as you said.
Contemplative.
As you said in an interview about me, a singular voice.
Right.
Yes, that's a very good word to
And
use.
your style of painting is obviously you. I mean, that's, I think, the most important aspect of being an artist is having a consistent signature.
Yes.
When you see Anthony Newton's work, there's no mistaking it. It's
Absolutely.
you. It has strength. It has a voice. It has a vision.
Yes.
And it carries through. And you're writing about it. You're doing the text of the book.
Well, Kevin McNeil, who is a composer, musician, he's working with me in choosing which composers are part of the book, so that everything is represented. From classical, jazz, blues, ragtime,
R&B.
And education.
R&B, everything, the educational part. Yeah, and then I'm writing the profiles with him, and obviously Anthony is doing the art.
Yes, let's see some more work. Let's have another painting up. Do tell.
So this is a piece on Lauryn Hill, and her, I think she's revolutionary. At least in the 90s, she was really revolutionary.
Very popular.
So I wanted to kind of capture her, as a black woman in this world, in this racist world, or colonialistic world, she had a very strong impression on me as a visual artist. Like,
how did you come to being an artist? How did you become a painter?
So growing up, I come from a very alcoholic and abusive background, family. So my therapeutic escape was making art at a young age, at about the age of like 7, 8.
Wow, that's very young.
Yeah, so it was kind of like an escape mentally from all the madness in my household.
And do you still have some of that work, or?
My mom has a piece,
Okay.
but I don't have that too much of that work now.
And that
Unfortunately.
process has brought you to this collaboration,
I've been painting ever since then.
and you went to art school as well.
I went to the Fashion Institute of Technology, and I went to a couple of schools in Philadelphia. I'm from Chester, Pennsylvania, a small town outside of Philly and Jersey and Delaware. It's a land of nowhere, but it really influenced me to want to be a great artist. Coming from
Who has
nowhere.
influenced you as an artist outside of?
Well, of course, Jean-Michel Basquiat.
Okay. I could feel that in your painting, yeah.
I used to do a serious study on text with the art, but my own statement is without words. But with words, I'm doing a complete, like I'm talking to him, you know, in that genre. But Chuck Close, I like Chuck Close a lot. I like Lucien Freud's work. I like Vic Muniz, contemporary, the collages. I like Ahende Wiley a lot. I like him very much. I like, but even though I like all these artists, I still want to have a very distinct.
You've accomplished that, believe me.
I don't want no one else to be able to,
let's see, let's see,
imitate
let's
my
see some
work.
more about, because your line is quite powerful and your palette is quite unique.
Thank you.
Without question, I know when I see this painting, it's you. Tell us about this painting. Where does it originate? Who is it?
This is, let me get the name right. Help me out.
Scott Joplin.
Scott Joplin, yes, Scott Joplin. So he is a pianist, and he's historical because the history behind him is that it was in the period of like, I don't know, colonialism for sure.
Well, look, I mean, he influenced so many other artists and so many composers.
I mean, that
And,
painting
yeah.
also goes back to the first one. Was it Duke Ellington?
Duke Ellington.
And the eyes and the focus of the eyes and
yes.
how you use the eyes to
look at the visual,
Yeah.
to look at the person looking at the work,
right.
you know.
That's unique.
As
You do
people
this-
study their own work. Yeah, that was
So-
my,
That's your signature.
that's my signature.
Right, I like that a lot because I did the same with a piece, which has been very successful, and the eyes are always captivating, because
Passes way to the soul.
yeah, some of us, some of us, yeah, we'll get there someday. But let's explore another painting. Tell us what's going on here.
This is Margaret Bonds, right?
Margaret Bonds, yeah.
Okay, Margaret Bonds. So again, another pianist, musician, in a revolutionary time period, I would consider. And she's, you know, she was a colorful person from the research I did on her. And she was, you know, a female, black female at that, you know. So it was at a time period when, you know, I guess it was the end of slavery.
Composers, yeah. Well, she was just, I mean, at a time when women didn't get the
Much
kind of
right,
exposure, especially
much right.
not women composers.
Again, in
right.
that one, the eyes are center and very
Yes.
important and captivating. It's very, very unique how you do that. And the sizes, how big are these paintings?
So the largest I'm doing is 36 inches by 36 inches.
Okay.
Yeah, and the smallest is like 18 by 24 inches.
And where are we in the book? How many
How
composers
many have
are?
I done so far?
Yeah.
I didn't really count them.
Yeah,
I guess they're like
you've done about
14?
no, you've done 18 so far.
18?
Yeah, 18.
Whoa,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
all right.
Good thing she's around.
Well, I keep them.
Right, right. That's good to have that kind of motivation.
yeah.
I could use something like that myself.
But there'll probably be about 24, 25 oils and mixed media, and then the rest will be illustrations.
And this is going to be a regular coffee table type book, and then you'll have it digitized, and it'll be available online.
It'll be also online, but it's not necessarily, there'll be a coffee table version of it, but we really want to do it as something that can be used by students in something
You can go
in high schools, in community colleges.
QR codes and
Yeah.
scanning and
Yeah, we want it
being
very-
able to look up who the artist is from
Yes.
taking your
Right.
phone and
Yes.
scanning it and,
And listening
to
to
the
it,
music.
listening to it, yeah.
Very important, very
Yeah.
important stuff you got here. I'd love to see some more. Can we see another shot of Anthony's work?
So this is Jelly Roll Morton.
Okay.
Interesting history. Musician from back in the racist period. Well, it was always a racist period.
Are we not in one?
He was I don't know if he was a pianist, but he was a musician that just painted what he was experiencing at the time. He was an artist.
Are you listening? Are you listening to their music while you're painting?
I am.
Oh, yeah.
Not
yeah,
while I paint, but I do a listening before I paint, and then I listen to hip hop.
Are you listening to other music while you're
Yes,
painting?
yes, I
And
listen
you're
to
listening
hip-hop.
to the subject matters?
Yes.
And that's influencing you in some degree?
Yes, yes. We did a piece on Terrence Blanchard, and I really studied his music before I proceeded to paint his work. And it was
How important is that? So are you seeing notes and sounds and visualizing a palette that way, or a composition,
well,
or
that
how
piece
you're
came out
gonna
very strong.
how
So
your
I
line
think-
is gonna go?
I think that listening to his music gave me really like getting into him. It was like doing an interview for Barbara Walters talking to a client or a subject matter. You know, it was like really learning more about him as a person and what he's all about. Because their art speaks louder than them as a human being. You know what I mean? Like it
Really, well,
just,
it's still going. It's still
absolutely
right.
still being
Yeah,
studied.
they gave us great gifts.
Right.
And,
He's still around. Terrence is still
the
around.
sad, I used to live in France for many years, and I would look back at this place and I would try to figure out what went wrong with the fact that we don't appreciate the birth of jazz, blues, I mean,
Right,
everything
right,
really,
right.
Gospel,
rock and roll,
right,
everything,
rock and roll.
everything.
Right.
And when I would look back, I would just be so fascinated by the culture, like looking at it from afar. And then there was, I forget the name of the club in Paris, but the whole scene, the music scene in Paris around black music is just endless. And to look back at it from somewhere else gives you a perspective
Of where it came
of like,
from. Yeah,
what's
the
wrong with
journey.
us
Yeah.
here? Like, we're missing the boat.
Well,
you know?
art is like not even in high schools anymore. You know
No,
what I mean?
of
It's-
course. I mean, that's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
But we as artists, everyone here and everyone that I know and I have contact with, we are the ones that keep,
Keep the
ourselves
train
sane.
going,
And
yeah.
as you were saying earlier about how you got influenced by becoming an artist from your family and the dysfunctions of your family, which I could speak to myself. I think we
Right.
can all
I was
we all
talking
can.
about- Yeah.
And that escapism to go someplace.
Yeah.
Because I look at it from like, say, people talk about the Sistine Chapel in the Vatican,
Right.
and I would say Michelangelo was really not happy. He was a really angry guy.
Yeah,
and
he
they'd
was-
look at me and they'd go, "How do you know?" I go, "Because he painted the Sistine Chapel."
on a scaffold.
Right, and on his
Laying
back.
down.
Right?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
got to be
right.
really pissed off about something.
Yeah, I mean, he was
To create
doing
that level
like
of art.
floating in the air. You know, that's incredible. Incredible.
And so it's really quite, it's quite something to have that energy, because you can direct it or misdirect it.
Right,
And
of
so you're
course.
focusing
Yeah.
in and you're getting your signature beautiful pieces of
thanks, man.
incredibleness.
Thank you.
Because it's powerful what you're doing. It's very, very, very powerful.
I don't see it as powerful. It's the norm.
That's not your place. Your place is to produce it.
Okay.
And then you give it to us. Once you give it to the world, it's ours.
Okay.
That's how it is.
Open for interpretation.
Yes, and that's the gift of art. You're giving it away.
Okay.
We'd like to get paid too, of course,
Yeah,
but
right, a little bit.
at some point.
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. Do what you love and the money will follow.
Yes, we're going to go to a PSA now, and we'll be back. Welcome back to Corinne's Picks. I'm Daniel Lanzilotta, your host, and I have Joan Daidone and Anthony Newton with us tonight. And we're talking about their collaboration of a book about a wide spectrum of African American composers from very early on to all the way to the present, hip hop and beyond.
Classical to hip hop.
Classical to hip hop, and I'm totally fascinated by this, the way you're interpreting it, how you're listening to music, how it literally is giving you and influencing maybe a direction or a roadmap somehow, and then you're making this interpretation, and then how long does it take for each piece to come to fruition?
It starts out as a small, what I call thumbnails on smaller images, and I show it to Joan. I get an approval or not, to move forward. So
that's impressive.
Then it goes to a bigger scale after that. So it's
Well, it goes back to I worked in publishing and as a creative director, and I've worked with artists for a long time.
I'll give her that. Yeah.
And we've because we go back and forth, and we jam on it. It's just
Right.
It's a collaboration, truly a collaboration. And Kevin, who's not here tonight, he's doing the music aspect of it. Where does he fit in with the visuals and the verbiage?
Well, first of all, we collaborated on which artists are going to be represented. We can't have all of them. I mean, there's but he approves every. He also. We'll look at the sketch and. We'll talk about which pieces of music to be represented, and he really knows the connection, the connection between this hip hop artist and this and say Kendrick Lamar and Thelonious Monk, or and who influenced who and how, and that all is part of the mix. We've.
Okay, on that note, let's look at some more work.
And here we have Valerie Coleman.
Coleman.
Yes.
Yeah, this was a tough one, but I think I got it. Yeah, she's a flautist. Is that pronounced right?
Yeah.
Yes,
But-
and she's contemporary. She's alive.
And the eyes?
They're not looking at you.
No, they're it's curious. It's very. It makes me wonder what is holding her attention over there.
Good.
What's going on over there?
I just wanted the viewer to kind of focus on my skill level as an artist when I make it look off. Looking at the viewer. I want to capture that
Mystery?
ability. Yeah, I want to intrigue someone to get into my work from a point of view that's kind of astonishing, impossible for other artists to do.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
No, the whole thing makes sense, but I'm unusual, so
Yes. Yes.
things make sense to me in a roundabout way as well. And your work certainly intrigues me, captivates my imagination, and the subject matter. When Joni was explaining the project, I was like, wow, that's impressive to take that and gather all this up, all this information. Is there a date that you have in mind about when it'll be?
Well, it's a lot of work, and we're doing it without a grant or funding or whatever. I mean, this is really truly a labor of love. But we are planning on looking right now to have a show in the spring, and hopefully we'll have the book ready by the end of the summer.
Okay, we got a couple of more pieces to look at, so let's continue on.
This is William Grant Still.
Yeah, this was the first one I did.
Yeah.
This is the very first one I did.
Also, here he's looking
Classical,
off
yeah.
into almost a dream state.
Mm-hmm.
But I want my palette to be very dream state.
That was definitely dream state, without question. I mean,
I try to make my palette
his attention was elsewhere, and I
looking
felt
off.
that.
Good.
I felt like, ooh,
I
where's
want
he?
you to feel it more than you
Where's
see
where's
it.
that guy at? What was he thinking about?
Right.
Can you tell me what he was
What he
thinking at the
about?
time?
He was thinking about his next move in life, his music, his responsibilities to this world we live in, as an artist,
Right.
as you do.
Oh,
sure.
I believe me, I think about it quite often. What is your take maybe with the situation with AI and what's happening
I'm
there?
not down with AI whatsoever.
Okay.
No.
Joni?
I see it. I was totally, as a writer and as an artist, but now I see its use in research, and and it's helping me to to do the kind of deep research that more quickly and
Very quickly.
But obviously I can't just go by AI, but it helps give me sort of a foundation and an outline, and it helps organize a plan.
Right.
So it's really helping with just the research on
Right.
some of these.
I have mixed feelings about it myself. I just started using it to play with. I bumped into somebody in a cafe not 2 weeks ago, and he's deeply into it. And I was like, well, he started showing me it, and I was like, whoa. It was quite fascinating. But when I think about you
Right.
and what you just have been telling me,
Right.
you certainly bring a tremendous depth of humanity to your work.
Yes.
And that's what we're lacking.
Absolutely.
We're lacking that and that connection, and then the whole thing about, the political situation we're living in and resisting. I can't live there.
Yeah.
I don't want to resist you.
Oh, good.
I do not want any resistance between anyone.
Right.
I want
Right.
to have a conductivity with you, even if I don't agree with you.
Right.
And in that conductivity, perhaps you'll change my mind, I might change your mind, we'll have a beer, we'll perhaps, agree to disagree, and somewhere along the line, that's all shifted. It's about, I took a class at Momentum Education. I would have to I have to make you look bad so I could feel good about being right. And that doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
So I appreciate when you're saying you're researching, listening to the music, gathering information, and then you're going to come up with your vision of who this person is. And then it goes into the universe. We have one more to look at.
There's Winton.
Yes, this is a study on Wynton Marsalis. Again, you can feel more than you can visually identify with Wynton Marsalis. But it doesn't deter you from getting into the painting. I think I try to make the painting.
Well, like for me, I look at it and I'm saying to myself, jazz. Some people don't know the incoherence of jazz when in reality it is coherent. And
Right.
if your brain isn't working in that way to put it together, because that guy's doing this and this guy's doing that. But in reality, everyone's listening to each other. They are actually listening to each other, right? And they're following each other.
Right.
But the personality is coming through as a single musician with a cohesive end. And that painting right there, for me, was jazz.
Okay.
The lines, the colors, the dynamic. And in design, we have a thing
Very
called the dynamic diagonal.
Okay.
And that's used in design and graphic arts and basically everywhere, really. And that painting is captivating. But I didn't get Wynton Marsalis out of it, but I got jazz out of it.
Okay.
And you captured colors and you captured energy.
Yes.
And that's where in the dynamic of the diagonal,
Yes.
boom,
Yes. Yeah, I try to make it look alive.
it's alive. It's alive.
Job well done, then.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I think it's fantastic the way it's coming together. You have 18 and you have how many more to do?
Then another 4 or 5 of the paintings, and then for the illustrations, there'll be about a dozen.
Okay, we're going to wrap it up. Tell us how we can get in touch with you guys.
I can be reached on Instagram and under my name, Anthony Newton 45, or Anthony Newton Art 45.
Okay.
And also at Fountain House Gallery, which is fountainhousegallerynyc.com or .org. You can look at my name and then go to the artists, thus and so.
Very good. And Joni, quickly?
It's just my name, Joan Daidone, and I can be found on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook.
Fantastic.
All over the place. Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Joni.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you, Daniel.
Appreciate
Thank you very
being here.
much.
Okay.
Thank you
Thank you so
really.
much. Thank you.